Hello, welcome back. This is Charlie at My Messy Fingers. We are in the process of building an album for Scrap and Create. They've been very generous with everything that they've supplied. And I've got the links in the description. You can pop on over to their website and you can buy all of this. And from what I'm understanding, as I've stated in a couple of other videos, she sent a lot of sweet little silver trinkets, which I am using. So if you order this, from what I understand, she will include these with your order, and then you can use them on this album, or you can save them for something else. But let's get right to it. This is going to be build number 2 for page number 2 of your album. And this is how I have it laid out. So I apologize for the mess, but things like to move around. So we're going to use this piece and its matching piece, because there's 2 in the packet, but we're going to put this back here for either some journaling or for a photo. This piece, I like to play with the larger images, and I think you can kind of tell that with the clock on the front of the album. I don't like cutting into the images. I think they're gorgeous as they stand. So this is what I've done with this piece. Just cut it out, and then I used this piece here for the back page. And I have a little pine cone that I cut out and popped it on a pop-up just to give a little bit of depth to this page. So that's going to go right there, provided I don't lose it. That happens a lot. And then this piece here is another of the large images that I have cut out. He's going to go on the front, and then the matching page on the back side. And then I used this as my base, and this is going to be 9 for your cut. It's going to be 9 1/4 across by 9 5/8. Now on the previous page, I had you cutting this at 9 3/8, but we kind of ran into a problem with there wasn't much room, so I'm kind of trimming this down. So I will show you each of these cuts as I go along. So this one ends up being just shy. It looks like it's 9 3/16, so it's just shy of 9 1/4 across. And then from your scraps, pick a piece that you like and a piece of leftover cardstock, because we're going to make a big pocket here. I fussy cut this out, and from your image, your little fussy cut images, I fussy cut this out. And then I'm going to use one of the snowflakes, silver snowflakes that came with the kit that she sent me. So this is going to be your base page. This is going to go on this side. And then we're going to build up on this side. Okay, are you ready? So what I do is I always build up, because if I've got to make adjustments in any of my trims, then I've got the opportunity to do so rather than build down into an album. So let's get this glued down. I hope you're all having a very good day. And following along with the video tutorials to make this album. These albums are for sale once they're finished. So if you'd rather buy a finished one and not make it, that's totally your option. Okay, so I think I'm liking the dark on the top. So I'm going to run a 1/4 inch tape. Hold on just a second. Along this edge. I'll be glad when this spool of tape is gone. It's kind of falling apart on me. Okay, I'm going to burnish. Get this flattened down and secured on there. And get this got some hangover tape. So I'm just going to use my finger to roll it over. I didn't lay that right. Okay. Line it up with the corner down there. Come up here, line it up with that corner. Excuse me. And then we're going to burnish in place. Now this I want to come in right here. And I want this here. So let's add some glue to this. And then I'm going to add some glue here to the back side. Whoops. Oh, goodness sakes. Hold on here just a second. Sorry about that mishap. Okay, and then we're going to come in here like that. I'm going to gently tack that in place because I've got this snowflake I want to add, but I want to get this kind of tucked under that piece. I probably should have put it down first. I did not mean to glue the entire side to this. I so sincerely apologize, everybody. I don't think I've had enough coffee this morning. Okay, we should be good to go there. Straighten that out a little bit. Okay. Okay. All right, now we're going to tape. I'm going to tape this because it's just too much. This glue dries so quickly. So I am going to tape this down. And, oh, see, there it goes. It's falling off the roll again. I'm almost done using it. I could just chuck it, but I hate to waste the tape that's on this. What am I going to do here? I am done with that. This is such a mess. This brand of score tape, their 1/4-inch rolls always do this, and it's really rather annoying. Well, shoot, duck on it. Sorry, I'm kind of losing control of my tape here, folks. I apologize. I think I'm done. I'm not going to mess with that. That's just too much. I'll get a new roll. Okay. All right, we're going to just kind of sneak up to that first score line. And then burnish in place. Oh, I forgot to tell you something. Gosh, I'm so glad I saw this. I need to slow down. I totally apologize before I go any further. My cut piece that I pulled out of my scraps was about 2 1/4 inches, the cardstock. And then I cut it to fit this page. I didn't have to take very much off. This piece here, you are going to cut this at, well, mine ended up being about 6 1/2 inches. So how you trim this, however your paper trimmer is, 6 1/2 inches by 8 3/4 inches. And then you're going to score this at 1/2 and at 5/8. I want that little gusset right there. As I've told you in previous videos, I want there to be room in here for when you start adding things that these aren't bowing, because too much and there wasn't enough room given on the gusset, okay? So then I'm going to tape this piece here. I'm using 3/8 inch tape. Burnish. And then I want to come in here right up to that first score line, and I'm going to kind of eyeball this to see that I've got room down here and room up here, that they're both matching because the paper is not the same length. Oops, I instructed you wrong. You want to come right up to this gusset line, because then when this folds over, you have your push back and you've got your gusset. See that? Now we will tape this side. Apologies, time out. I've got to get some more tape. And then I'm going to come in here. Small piece there in the center to hold the middle of the page down so that it's not bubbling or showing the appearance of lifting, if that makes sense to you. Now make sure I've got my image going in the right direction. I'm just going to sneak right up here, eyeball top and bottom, lay it down. All right. Now, this piece over here, because of this measured, I wrote it down, but I want to show you, it's upside down. This piece, for me, measured just a hair over 6 5/8, so I would be on the safe side, cut that up to 6 7/8. Once you place this on here, you can do some pencil marks and trim it down to fit. And then this piece measured out at almost 8 3/4. So go ahead, do the same. Measure it at 8 3/4, because again, once you place that paper, you can trim to fit. Then you're going to come in and you are going to score this at 1/2, and you're going to score it at 5/8. So I am going to put this on. almost done. Look at this, it's starting to separate already. Needless to say, when I get through my supply, I will not be ordering this again. All right. Now, before I mount the piece on the front side, I need to place a magnet. So once again, I'm going to come in here to that first score line, eyeball as best I can, make sure I have an even space here and an even space down here, and then we're going to fold it over. I gotta lift that. I ran it right on the score line on the bottom. So let me get my friend undo. And I'm gonna adjust this so it's just inside that score line. Quick and easy. Okay. I should have put the magnet on this side because I wanted this on the top. So here is one of the reasons using tape can be so beneficial. Versus glue. Okay, I'm just going to take a magnet. I'm going to take it back off. And then I'm just going to slide it in here. That's that. That's that silly piece that was giving me trouble earlier. I want to put this in here a good inch. Just tack it down. And then very carefully burnish this back down. Okay, so now I'm going to let it find its spot. Take that tape off, let it drop. And there we go, right there's my placement. Okay, now I can put this here. I did it again. This is where I needed it. Gosh, I don't know what's wrong with me this morning. So how I'm going to fix this real quick is I am going to put a dab of glue on the back side of that. This piece I will come up. I'm going to eyeball center, lay it down gently, get that glue on there, and it marks where I need to put this. Okay, so just to be safe, put these together. It should, I got the wrong side. I can see it's doing its funky dance when the wrong side of the magnet's trying to mate with the other side. Okay, so it found its mate. I'm going to leave that for the moment. Wait a minute, not if it's got glue on the back side. Goodness sakes. What have I gotten myself into this morning? I'm going to blame it on not enough coffee. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I get up at 5 o'clock every morning. It's just the way things are, and I like to get on with my day. So I have my routine, then I come into my craft room, and I'll stay in here the better part of the day. Designing this album. I know I got good sleep last night, so that's not an issue. So I'm trying to figure out why I'm out of sorts here. Oh, I think I know what it is. I had arthroscopic knee surgery 2 weeks ago, and I have a great deal of fluid swelling in my knee. So they put me on prednisone. That has got my blood sugars just all in a tizzy. And it's kind of, I think that's what's messing with me, because I'm out of balance on my sugars. Okay, so now we're going to add this piece so that I can get that magnet set. So I don't know if anyone out there has been on that stuff, but it's it's kind of wretched. Okay. Now on this piece, you're not going to come up to this score line. You're going to come up to this score line because we need this gusset to fold over this gusset and be even so that it's not popping up. So I'm going to do my best here to eyeball my in between. I'm going to just out of curiosity. Reading a ruler upside down. This comes in at 1 3/4, and this is coming in at 2. So I'm not too far off on the eyeball. Move this down just a smidgen. Fold it over. And burnish. Okay. Now, this thing's got tape on both sides, so I've got to quickly get this up. And then put the tape side against the tape side. Okay, now this, if you remember, is going to be our back side. And I am going to run, well, maybe I did it on this side. No, I'm going to run some ink here along the edges. Now, before I tape that down, perfect. But this I'm going to glue down because there's not that much of a surface. This thing's being stubborn. Stay there. I hope I did that on the right side. Oh, something went right. Okay. And then this side. We're going to come in here. We're going to set that in place. And burnish. And then last but not least, I want to get my little token pop up on the front there. So there is your page to build. Now these two pages here, as I'm looking at them, there is a lot of space. So in your paper, you have a lot of beautiful things that you can actually cut out and make tucks on both sides, which is what I'm going to do. I really like this image. So if you will bear with me, I'm going to do this so that you can see. Let me get this out of here. There's a little tiny floral piece right there. I am not going to worry about trying to cut around that. I'm just going to snip it off. By the time it gets laid on the end of the album page, no one's even going to really notice. Okay. Ink. Get rid of the competing white. And then in my leftover scraps, I'm going to find a piece that's big enough to take this on. I'm going to glue this down. Kind of center this so I can get my visual for my trim right here. And I'm going to come in here and start my cut. Now I'm not real good at this, but I do my best. I have watched some fussy cutters as I watch videos. Oh my gosh, there are just phenomenal people out there with the steadiest of hands and the keenest of eyes. And they can just trim like nothing else. I'm so amazed and impressed by it. And as crafters, when you do something really well like that, I think it's always a great idea to compliment them, because then it shows them someone's paying attention and that what they're doing is pleasing to the eye. So if you ever watch stuff like that, leave them a shout out. Okay. Now, I am going to place this. Oh, there's no magnet on this piece. Wait a minute, but there's a magnet there. Okay, so I'm going to move this to the inside, because if I put this over here, that magnet's right under there, and I don't want this adding additional depth to the magnet's ability. And I'm just going to come, ability to match up, so I'm just going to come across here. So burnish this, get this tape down, get those little puckers up out of there. And then I'm just going to come in about 1/4 of an inch on each side and secure it down. Now we have a nice little pocket tuck. And you still have plenty of room to add a photo, do some journaling. So let's go address this piece here. thought I saw two pieces off this same cut. But I like this piece here. It gives you a spot to do some little shout outs. Okay. I'm going to cut that berry off because there's already a berry underneath, and really seriously nobody's going to know. It's just an element that I don't want to trim around when I go to put it mounted on cardstock. I think it's pretty, but in my opinion, not necessary. And I'm not the only one that does that. It's these are a little bit bigger pieces, but I'm still going to cut them off. Okay. Piece of cardstock. Let's get these edges inked. And we're going to glue. Come in here, set this, trim. I should have thought this through, people. I so apologize. There's really no excuse for you having to sit through this part and watching me fussy cut. I always like to try and get my pages all laid out. This is an afterthought, so that you're not having to watch me do my thing. Keeps the videos so much shorter. Okay. I think I'm going to lay it this way. So the only place I think I really need to add any tape is right here through the bottom. I'll trim that off. Okay. And now you've got another beautiful tuck, and it helps to tone down this piece of paper. So then what we need to do to finish this is we are going to lay our tape across the back. Now this tape I'm using is a 5/8 inch tape. You can use a 1/2 inch, but I think you get better coverage so that when it goes onto the album page, there is more tape coverage to keep the page from separating away. Now, having said that, I've never had an album page separate. No one's ever come back to me in 10 years and tell me that their page separated away. Maybe an element fell off because I didn't put it on right, but that's always easy to put back on. But never a page separating away. Use big enough coverage that you can handle it easily. I think any wider than 5/8 it gets to be kind of obnoxious to hold on to. But then we're going to come in and we're going to lay 3 layers through the back so that you've got more tape coverage. I don't think there's really any need to put more than that, but you are more than welcome to do so. Now, the ever so important part is burnishing to get that tape onto the paper and get all the air pockets and any creases worked out, because that's where you'll have failure. When the air gets in there and dries that tape out, that's what's going to cause your separation. All right, so here we go. We're going to put this in here. And we're going to mount this right up close to that edge so that there is this gap here. And that's for the purpose of this folding over to lay nice and flat. All right? And I am going to do just the middle. Make sure I've got this. I'm going to come in here so I can see it from this angle and line top to bottom and run this edge right up with the paper edge, and then gently lay down. And then I'm going to come in here and quickly burnish that tape so it's sticking. Then I'm going to lift this and come in here and remove this tape. It's just the way I like to do it. That way, if I've got a placement issue, I don't have a lot of tape I have to deal with. Because it can just be a bugger trying to get into this. Wow, why won't that come up? Let's try it from this end. There we go. Okay. Open this up and just burnish really, really, really well. You're not going to hurt anything. Okay. So that, folks, is your page 2 build. Come back for the next video and we will be working on page 3. Thank you for watching.